So, if you are serious about growing your production and building a business that doesn't stop when you do, then these weekly mastermind drops are going to be for you. I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly what's working right now for top agents across the country. So, let's get to work.
Hello, everybody. Eric Golden here with the normal, what we call agent attraction Q&A. If you read the text reminder, I said, let Eric Golden, I guess it said Eric Golden blow your mind. Originally, when I tried to put that through Textedly, which is the texting platform, and I said, let Eric Golden blow your mind, they said, no, he can't put out there. There's some word. And I realized it was the word blow. And you can't say blow your mind because people are talking about that in the wrong way, blowing things up or whatever the case may be. And so, but for some reason now they're letting it go through. So we're going to let it go through. We meet every week on Thursdays. By the way, Bill, Sean's got it in his calendar. I will not be here 2 Thursdays from now. I'll be international. That'll be the week of the 19th to 26th. So I think that's the 24th. So make sure you're in if you will. What we do every week here is we talk about what it takes in order to recruit or attract agents. There's a specific methodology that I've been training on for years. It works very well here at EXP, and it will help you recruit or attract 5 agents between now and the end of the year. So worst case scenario is next year, assuming they're capping agents, and that's who we will talk about recruiting. You're going to end up making 20 grand next year, which will offset your $16,000 cap. So you will be truly at 100% at a company that does have an 80-20 split. One of the reasons I tell you that is because when we talk to prospects, they'll always say, yeah, but what's your split? And my answer to them is always, well, the company has a standard 80-20 split, but most of the agents I work with, they're all at 100%. I'd love to explain to you how or why. And they go, well, how would you do that? And by the way, so you understand, there's 3 ways to do that I speak about. Number 1 is, yes, they can become an icon agent, but most agents won't. There's a volume of transactions most agents won't hit. Congratulations, Mark, for hitting it. The second way to do it is to go out and, as most people think, recruit a handful of agents. But agents are often telling me they don't want to recruit, even though we know that it really doesn't take a lot of action or words or effort to recruit if you're doing it the right way. And you're not trying for 1,000 agents, but 5 agents will offset your cap. But there is a third way, and it's the way every agent should do it. And that is, if they come to EXP, they should expect to sell at least 1 additional home. There's no reason for someone to move brokerages if they're not going to sell more or sell easier. And so the bottom line is, if they come and sell 1 additional house at $500,000, that's going to roughly cover their $16,000 cap. And so I tell them up front, look, if after a presentation, you don't think you can sell at least 1 more house, you shouldn't come anyway. But if you sell at least 1 more house, then you've paid for your cap. So that's a little training at the beginning. Mark, you said you've had a week of pretty good highs. Let's talk about it.
I early in the week made a list on Monday morning. I had a busy day. I made that list like early in the morning. I had a 9:30 meeting, and I had about 20 minutes to make as many calls as possible.
Okay.
I got through 11 calls on that list. I connected with 3 agents, Eric, and set Zooms. And last week I shared with you that I had 0 success, but I took your suggestion and I made it very simple. Are you looking to see why so many agents would come to our brokerage in the last year and or 2, and just wanted to see if they were interested in learning more. As simple as that. I added a couple more things to my introduction to the call, and the 3 of them said, sure. So I said, okay, what time works for you? Let's book it, And I had those Zooms already. I had an agent that has a team, so I connected her with another friend of mine who has a team at EXP, and we had a 2-way call, 3-way call with her. And then after that, I had a call. I had a meeting with an agent last week that I invited him to our agent collaboration in-person meeting. He came. We put together some some really great information for multiple agents to join us. About 12 people showed up. We had a great, and he enjoyed that meeting. And then
Okay.
on Zoom 2 days ago with a young man who does about 11 transactions a year, and he wants to go to 25. He is just so happens he's with Coldwell Banker, and he goes, believe it or not, my contract is over today, so I'm free to take a look around. And it was, that timing was perfect. We had a great Zoom. I brought two of my team members, not my team, but my partners in my organization on that call for support. And we are going to be having lunch with him tomorrow. So we're excited. Those are my 3 wins. You know, it's been a great week.
Well, you had 4 wins.
Yep.
Actually, you've had 5 wins. The first win, you mentioned 1 through 3, but really the first win is you made your calls. That's a win. I could say you made a list, but that's also a win for those that are struggling to make a list. If you don't have a list, you're not going to make your calls. Okay, if you're not going to pull out an index card and write down 5 names and numbers on that card, if you're not going to write down 5 names and numbers the night before, you're not going to call them the next day. It's just simple things that I trained you to do. And Mark, I'm glad you're doing it. Here's the other win. You've come back to the only place on the planet that's going to help you get better, which is here. Right now, we've got 83,483 agents in EXP, and there's only 9 of them that are getting better today by being on this call. And I'm not trying to elevate my call. I'm trying to tell you that you could be doing anything else right now, but you're investing an hour with me in order to invest an hour with you. So I praise you for doing that, Mr. Mess. Great job. Not everybody's going to go 3 for 3, but I'm also going to talk about something that other people weren't around to hear. And if you were, then you'll hear it again. Last week, we talked about speed dialing. We said, just go in speed dial. Some people are saying, I'm not sure I know what to say. The answer is you don't need to know what to say. You need to know where to find what to say, and you find it right here. freedomteamsupport.com. Under attraction scripts, there's the scripts. If you learn them, you'll use them. If you use them, they'll work. If you don't learn them, you won't use them. Whatever you will use probably won't have assured success level. Why? Because this has been vetted. This is the contact. You personalize it all you want. This is the contact that works for the majority of people. So I recommend you adhere to it. I don't want to miss this opportunity. We live in a world where there is a lot of negativity. And as we're talking to people, whether we're trying to recruit them or we're just walking out the front door talking to a neighbor, there's a lot of negativity. What I recommend people focus on is right here in something called the brain bucket. Ta-da! A whole bunch of positive stuff, especially these 7 right here. These are flipping unbelievable. And I recommend you go to freedomteamsupport.com, brain bucket. If you want to know what presentations to show, they're under presentations. Ta-da! Okay? So everything you need is right here, and everything you'll find out about is right here on this call. So we're glad you're here. Thanks, Mark. Anything else for us at the moment?
Well, I shared with you my success of making the calls and getting some people into face-to-face meetings and Zoom meetings. But they weren't all. I didn't do it perfectly, but I can say I accomplished it. I finished it, and and I know that if I do it works. The system works. If you make the calls, you'll get the Zooms. Maybe none of these agents will join. Maybe 1 will. Maybe all 3 will. But if I stay consistent, that's what I'm going to try to do. Is stay consistent with this. And if I set 3 Zooms a week, and I do that for the next 3 months. That would be 36 Zooms I've had, What are my chances then
Well, your chances are better than if you don't have 36 presentations, right? And so as a reminder for everybody, it's really as simple as this.
Make it clear. Freedom's calling, can you hear? Step by step,
there's a way to do this, step after step.
Agent attraction, live your dream. Dream and believe, create the spark. But work the phone and leave your mark. You're looking for the one, yeah, they're looking for you. Find the right fit, make your dreams come true. Raw money, 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 it's coming in. Eric Golden shows you how to win. Make your calls, let the numbers work for you. The right mindset's gonna pull you through.
So understand that the next line, which I'm saving for the next little intermission, says your timing is more important than your invite. Mark, the reason you had success this week was that you did your part, but you found agents that were at a point where they were curious whether they were upset with their previous broker, whether they were just intrigued by our growth. It doesn't matter why they were interested. What matters is they were interested. Mark, agree?
100%.
So wait, now watch. So it doesn't matter why they're interested. It only matters that they're interested. Then the opposite is also true, everybody. If they're not interested, it doesn't matter why they're not interested. We hold to ourselves, oh my God, they weren't interested and they told me this. I don't care what they told me. The minute they're not interested, I'm not interested. If they're not interested, I'm not open to their interest. If they're not open, I'm not interested. We get so caught up. I do this for years. I've been recruiting people and training people on how to recruit. And I can't tell you the number of people that'll tell me, you know, Frank didn't get in because of this. Rocky said this and Connie said this. And I said, well, what did work? Well, Robert got involved with us. And I'll say, why? And they go, I don't know. We put more focus on why people don't join us than they do. So that's the lesson for now. Wade, you've also always got nice stuff to share, but before you do, Scott was here first. Scott, do you have any questions for today?
Not right now, man. Just listening today, and yeah, appreciate the info. Just got to get more conversations.
Do you have a list built already?
I do. So I have a Facebook group that's for realtors, and so that's kind of creates my list, and it gives me a little bit of a connection already. So that's the people who I reach out to. People in that inside. There's about 600 people inside that group. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my strategy, is using that group to add value, and then also book calls with them to have this conversation.
Okay. So I'm defining this based on my definitions, not yours. A Facebook group is not your list. I'm not saying that's not a foundation to get a list, but a list is something with names and phone numbers. Here's why. So when you're ready to make your 5 calls a day, which is what I recommend people do, just 5. When they do that, you literally can write 5 names on an index card, right? With their phone numbers, and carry it around with you all day long, put it in the car and just call. So that's the first part. Here's number 2. How long have you been selling real estate?
15 years.
Okay. Facebook group of people that don't know you are not as likely to accept an invite as someone who does know you, unless people don't like you. So I'm going to say, if you haven't made a list of people that you've done cross sales with, people that were in your previous office, if you're afraid to call them, that's a fear I'd like to deal with in this kind of forum next week, if you're not prepared to deal with it this week. But I promise you, you'll have better reception from people who know you. Let me change that. You'll have quicker reception from people that know you than people that don't. Some people like calling people they don't really know, because then they're not feeling like they're going to offend the people they know. And it gets a little bit weird if someone says no, but it only gets weird for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there a reason why you haven't called consistent? How long have you been at EXP?
2018.
Have you done much agent attraction or not really much?
I've done. I mean, I have a handful of agents. I have about 5 right now.
Do you want to build. Do you want to talk to agents you know, or is there a reason why you're preferring to talk to agents you really don't?
No, I talk to agents I know too. I mean, I don't not how you're not as systematically as you're talking about. So I have, yeah, it's just the strategy was to just try to build a network to add value. So we do like a live stream every week, so people see my face, and then through those conversations, I book calls. Some of those agents I already know, some I don't. So, but yeah, no, that's what you're saying is more direct and more systematic, I think.
And
Yeah,
if you
I
understand,
have a CRM with all these people in it, but I don't have like a list of like specific ones that
well,
I'm going to reach
here's the
out
thing.
to.
So I told this to, it's a strategy to a group that I'm training. And I said, look, you're going to make 5 calls a day for the next 22 days. That's a month. And I said, that's about 110 names. And the next day, someone sent me a picture. I think Bill saw it, with 22 cards, index cards, with 5 names each. He says, I'm ready. And believe it or not, he is so ready because he doesn't have to think about anything other than, okay, this is Thursday, the 3rd of April. I'm making these calls today.
Mm-hmm.
If I can eliminate thinking, okay, where's my favorite shirt? You're working too hard because you're thinking too much, right? If I can eliminate thinking, you'll work faster.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the idea. It sounds like this Facebook group, they all know you, unlike a regular Facebook group. Is that true?
Yeah, they know me. I create content every week for the
Perfect.
group. I
Okay.
interview agents, things like
So let's
that.
play with that.
Okay.
What is your contact in Facebook when you're reaching out to them for looking at EXP? What is your contact?
What do you mean?
What do you say? What do you send them? Hey, Charlie, blah, 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 blah. What do you send them?
Oh, inside that group. Yeah. So I send out invites, and then we say, welcome to the group and things like that.
No, but as far as if you wanted them to look at EXP.
Oh, I gotcha. I book a call. I send them a Facebook message and say, hey, would love to book a call to talk about your business and talk about opportunities in your business that we have.
And the numbers are the numbers. I'm not judging. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
How many people since the first of the year in your Facebook group, if you had to guess, how many of those people did you send a message to? Not how many responded. How many do you believe? I don't care if the number's 2 or 200. What's the number?
A specific message like that, or more generic messages?
No, well, a message. Hey, man, let's jump on a call. Let's talk about your business, blah, blah, blah. How many messages like that in 3 months?
Yeah, probably 20 to 30.
Okay. So, and how many of those 20 to 30 did you actually talk to?
Like 4 or 5.
Okay. So I'm going to give you an easier way to do it, and you'll have at least the same response.
Okay.
Hey, I would take the invite that we have at Freedom Team Support that I just showed you. I'd loosely modify it by subtracting things, not adding things. Send that to 5 people of your 600 every day between now and next Thursday, and tell me what your response is.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah. Tell me again that sheet.
freedomteamsupport.com.
Okay.
And it's this right here, attraction scripts. You modify the one right at the top, which says someone who knows you.
Okay.
Send them the exact message, modified by reducing words, not adding anything.
Okay.
You've already explained that you think you've provided value. Great. If you have, then they're going to feel obligated to respond in some way. Okay?
Okay.
But remember this, because I firmly believe it. Everybody stick with me on this. Here we go. Watch this. Listen loud and clear.
Your time is more important than your invite. So pick up the phone, go and get it right. 5 calls a day, don't hesitate. If you want it your way, then dominate. Your time is more important than your invite. So pick up the phone, go and get it right. 5 calls a day, don't hesitate. If you want
Now listen to this part.
dominate, let's attract the right agents, make it easier. Transform your mindset, make you stronger. Leverage the right tools, keep it simpler. Master the 4 key actions, go bigger.
Master the 4 key actions. Here's the 4 key actions. Number 1 is making a list. Scott, you now have one. 5 a day. Pull them onto, get used to this method. Pull 5 names onto a card. Take that card, and the next day, send out 5 messages. Rip the card up, go to the next day. Okay? That's what I'd like you to try. Humor me on it. Let's just see what kind of results you can get. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. When you want to
Thanks.
show a presentation, no problem, dude. When you want to show a presentation, what presentation are you doing? Are you sending it to them, or are you jumping on a Zoom?
Yeah, so I used Eric Orland's videos, the one that he created, and then there's one new one that that guy from I can't remember his name, but he works for EXP Corporate who creates some content.
Okay.
So I have those 2 videos. And I either say so. Actually, so every I get a feel for it. So sometimes I'll just play it, or say if you have time to watch them right now, or can you watch these 2? Let's book our next call in 24 hours, 48 hours, and go ahead and get that on the calendar.
Are they watching it and booking a call, or are they meeting you to watch it? Out of the 5 people that have come through, what have they done?
Yeah, one of them or a couple of them have watched them, and then we booked a call, and that guy's making plans to come over.
Good.
The one that I tried to do it on the call with her, it wasn't as smooth as I was hoping. So I was kind of just trying different things. So I think I like the idea of getting them to watch those 2 videos and then hop on a call.
And if you like those 2 videos, great. Again, we've got a number of them in our, on the same page you looked at. So just go to I do one that's 15 minutes long. It's pretty direct. And then we've got, of course, the other leaders that have it from 23 to 38 minutes, depending on what you want to do.
Okay.
Mine's only 15 minutes. And again, it's pretty direct. And it also sells the concept of the Freedom Team, our group. There's a value to seeing more than just EXP. It's 3,000 agents that have extra things like this for their agents. So great job, Scott. Great for being here.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, no problem. Bring it. I want to know next week, so come back and tell us either way. Dominic, are you still with us? You want to talk to us today? Dominic. 3, 2, 1, Dominic. And he is outer spaced. Okay. Mr. Wade Price, talk to me.
Hey, just a couple of questions. Just want to get you guys' opinion. I'm making number 1, got a list, making 5 calls a day. So those are wins. I did a 30-second email video, just using the script pretty much, and with a calendar link. And I've only sent it. What I did is went back to the first 5 people I called a couple of weeks ago. People that didn't answer. These are people that didn't answer. I haven't talked to. So I just sent them this email yesterday, actually. What are you guys' opinions on that? That's in addition to calls. And it's just, all it is a video. And it's pretty much the script that I would say if I was on a telephone call. And with a calendar link. I don't know if it'll get any success. They will see my face. And maybe next time I call, because I'll recycle back through this list probably in a month or so. What are you guys' opinions on that?
My opinion is that's more or new than what I normally teach. So I'm going to let your results dictate what I think about it. I'm going to ask you to continue to do what we've talked about, making 5 calls, and whatever you want to do as testing in addition to that, I think is great to do. Okay? That answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I'm only going to send 5 a day. I'm not going to mass, to 100 people. I'm just going to do 5 a day and see what happens. Right.
It's 5 a day of work if you do it for 100 days.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's better to do it that way because we're creating a habit. Guys and gals, one of the things that you miss is we don't create success, we create habits. Habits create success. As humans, we are lazy. We're born lazy and we have relapses regularly throughout the day. Right? None of us want to
Yep.
be doing real estate. We're doing real estate because we love it, but we'd rather be on the boat drinking Mai Tais. We'd rather be sitting at home watching the grass grow. We would. Oh, no, I like to work. Okay, if they didn't pay you, let's see if you leave your house. Right? So let's talk about the fact what we're doing is creating habits. I call them many habits throughout the day. So we end up doing the things that are necessary. What are those habits? One of them is eating. Another one is brushing our teeth. If you do both of those things, you generally don't have a huge problem in the end. If you don't do one of those things, something's going to rot, either your body or your teeth. So we create habits to do them. Now, these habits we were trained at an early age, but don't misunderstand, they're habits. And the reason you do both of them is because of habit. I know a guy that flosses 3 to 4 times a day. I can't understand it, but that's what he does. Why does he do it? Because he's always flossed 3 or 4 times a day. So I want you to make 5 calls a day. Why? Because it works. 5 calls every day for the next 12 months is 1,300 phone calls. If you made 1,300 calls to expireds, you could have all the business you need. But they don't teach it that way. Call 100 expireds today. You can't do that every day because unless you're Michael Higdon, you'll die. And so the bottom line to it is I'm trying to create a habit that fits into a 15-minute time slot, which is just 1% of your day. There's 96 15-minute slots. All we want is one of those. I mean, look, God says tithing is give me 10%. You can live off the 90%. Don't worry about what you're giving to God. He'll do with it what he's supposed to. When it comes to building agent attraction, you get 95 15-minute slots a day. You can't figure out how to run your life with that. All we want here is one 15-minute slot to make 5 calls the right way so you can rip it up and be done with it. So you go to yourself, I did my agent attraction this week or today. I don't have to think about it all day. If you don't make your calls in the morning, you will think about it throughout the day, and that's not healthy. Wade, does that make sense?
Yes.
Need anything else, or are we good?
Yeah. One other quick question. Um, Agents or 2 agents that I had talked to, got them on a call, Zoom call on Jay Nelson's call, I think maybe a week ago, Tuesday, a couple of weeks ago, and talked to the main guy that I was talking to, talked to him afterwards. And haven't been able to get him on the phone the last several days, and he hadn't answered text. Uh, what is there like a last text I can send? Like let me know if you're not interested. Just say yes or no. Or do you just drop it? Or after a week?
Yeah.
What's
Good
your
question.
opinion?
So I would say all of this is different, but then you're going to think, oh my God, I got to learn a lot. So let me make it simple. I have control at the end of every conversation. If I don't have control at the end of the conversation, then it's going to be a no. So the way I control the end of every conversation is, hey man, looks like you've got the information you need right now. Cool, whatever. I'd like to follow up in a period of time. What else would you like me to provide? They're going to say things like, no, I think I got it all. I just want to look it over. Typical answer.
Yeah.
My answer is super. Would you like me to reach back out to you in a couple of days, which is normal for me? Because if I go a week, by then it's buried and you'll forget we ever had this talk. And I let them answer. That's when I say, hey, I'd like to reach out in a couple of days just to see if there's any other questions. But if you tell me wait a week, typically that means it's buried with 100 other things and we never really get back together. So is there something you need right now, or can I get back with you in a couple of days? And let them dictate.
Yeah, that's a mistake I made when I talked to him, he was waiting for his son's a real estate agent also, and he was part of this, and he was coming home from Texas, and he said, I'm waiting for him to get home from Texas tomorrow, and then I'll talk to him about it. At that point, I should have done what you said. Say, okay, that's great. Let him come back for it. Let's schedule next Monday. Let's schedule a time for us to talk once you
Yeah,
guys
so
had a
here's what I
chance
would
to
do.
talk.
Right now, one of the values you have, Charlie, is you saw a presentation without a lot of conversation. And you're
Right.
interested. Is that right? There's an interest here. Is that right, Charlie? Yeah, there's an interest. Great.
Mm.
Let's do the same thing with your son. Let's not have a conversation. Let's get the presentation in front of him. And then let both of you guys just ask the questions you need to ask. Would that make sense to you, Charlie? Yes. Would that make sense? Bill, how many times have you heard me say the statement, would that make sense?
Hundreds and hundreds. Yes.
And so if they say, no, I don't want to do it that way, okay. But I'm the leader of the direction because I have the path in mind. They don't. Okay. So if you feel like they're being nice, but they really are not interested, here's the line to use. I use it more often than you can believe. You ready? Hey, Charlie, I think you're interested, but is that your polite way of saying no? Hey, man, I don't want to push you. I think you're interested, at least exploring more. Is you delaying getting back with me? Is that a polite way of just saying you're not interested? Oh, no, wait. I am interested. Great. So let's set up a date. I don't care if it's 2 weeks from now, where at least we know we're talking again. And by the way, I'm going to send you an email which has a whole bunch of little links in it. Right? That ... Okay. Does anybody here need an email to send after the presentation? Y'all have one, or do you need one?
Yeah, I would need one.
Yeah. If you'll put your email addresses in the chat box, Bill, if you'll copy and then send them what I sent you last night.
Yep.
You got the modification from last night, right?
Yes, and love it.
Okay. Now that one didn't have any that one didn't have any Freedom Team in it because I pulled it out because of that group.
Right.
Can you re-add that back into the right spot and then send it?
Gladly.
Okay, so you'll modify it and then send it to everybody, right?
Yeah. You want me to send it to you first so you can?
Yeah, that'd be kind, and then I'll let
Okay.
you send it. But you're gonna
I'll
get
send
all
you the list. I'll send you the list of names and.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Hey,
Perfect.
Eric, can you go through the mindset of what, like, I like how you're saying, hey, Charlie, I think you're interested, but is that your polite way of saying no?
Yeah.
Are they really just not understanding how to go to the next step? Or because maybe they, like you said, they like what? How do you help people
Yeah.
with the next step?
Yeah, that's great. So here's something I don't say this enough in front of you all, or all of you. I'm from the South, so I go you all. At the end of a presentation, I know what Orland teaches, I know what Gobe teaches, I know what everybody else teaches. And mine is a modification of what they teach. The presentation ends. Let me stop that. My invite ends with me saying, so would you be curious to know why all these agents have moved and what could be in it for you? That is the last phrase. And then I shut up. Would you, so after my invite's been said, I'll go, Mike Oker. I'll say, Mike. So I guess what I'm asking is, would you be curious enough to want to know why 80,000 agents have come and potentially what's in it for you if you didn't have to change brokerages? Would you be open to that? That's my final statement. I want them thinking about the answer to that statement. Now I have a presentation. At the end of the presentation, I say this. Hey, Mark, now you can see, and I am recording this, by the way. Now, hey, Mark, now you can see why so many agents have come on board. I'm always curious, what's the one or two things that made you go, oh, that's interesting? And maybe the one thing that causes you to go, I'm not sure I'd move for that. Because it's something you're getting at your present brokerage. I'd like to know both sides of that, Mark. What do you like best? And that's how I handle it. That will get me right into what's important to them. I don't add to the presentation by going, oh, and let me get you in the world, and let me get you into my Tuesday class, and let me get, no. People that do that are avoiding asking for the sale. So I am literally, as soon as it ends, say, now you can see why so many agents have joined us. I'm always curious, by the way, Mark or Wade, what one or two things did make you go, oh man, that's interesting? And maybe what's one thing that would cause you not to come? Now, we go through the conversation of that. I don't bring up anything else but the things they brought up. And at the end of that, I will say this at the end of the presentation and conversation. I will say, Mark, just so you know, you've now seen more than most agents have seen in the country about EXP. In fact, you've seen enough where many agents say, I really like this. I could think about joining, whether you join today or not, but I could see myself joining a company like this. Have you seen enough to feel that way? Then they say to me, oh, and I know where I am. So I go, great, let's get back together. Now, based on what you said, I'm going to send you a follow-up with some information that I think you'll find really helpful. Let's connect again in a couple of days, just not so I can force you into coming, but in 48 hours, you're going to have other thoughts, and I want to make sure I can answer them. You see how, Mark, that flows? Mike, you see how that flows?
100%.
Right on top of it.
Yep.
And that leads. Then they go, well, you give me a lot. They'll tell you at that moment, Bill will tell you, this is what we get. Well, you know what? I'm glad you gave me all this, but I just don't think this is for me right now. Okay.
If you're taking them over to the world and all this other stuff, you're not leading the call to the direction that you're trying to go in. You're all over the place now. This reels them back into why we're on a call together and what the next steps are for you to move forward here or not, or how we follow up with each other. And
if they're not ready to talk about that, they're not coming. Understand the mindset, because you asked that question at the very beginning of this. What's the mindset of the prospect? The mindset of the prospect is just like the mindset of someone that likes the Freedom Team. Watch this. If you like the Freedom Team and you participate in some of their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Zooms, every time we send you a reminder 40 minutes before the Zoom, you're like, oh, I'm glad I got the reminder. If you have checked out of the Freedom Team mentally, every time it comes in, you're like, shit. You know what? I can't get on this. And why do they keep sending me messages? I want you to understand, I don't care which you are. I just want to identify who I want to spend time with. I want someone at the end of a presentation to tell me, you know what? I got all I needed. Now I understand more. I'm just not interested. Great. I also want them to say, sort of like this, but I also like my office. Great. It's impossible to replace you walking into your office, but it's not impossible to replace what you get from the office. What you get from the office is training and camaraderie and accountability. Let me show you how we get all three of those, and we don't have to put makeup on and get a babysitter. You see where I'm going, Mark?
I do. If you've had calls in like the last couple weeks or months that you didn't ask these questions, would you just follow back up with them and just say, hey, we had a great conversation. We connected, in many ways. And I noticed that you did like many things that we had to offer. Where do you stand right now? Can we have a conversation about what is interesting to you? Do you have more questions? And let's just maybe you have some time now to make that happen.
Yeah. So let me say what I said to Wade. Nothing comes in replacement of making your 5 calls. But in addition to that, if you want to reach back into the pool, you can do it one of 2 or 3 ways. 1, call them first. My favorite thing to do. If they don't pick up, then the other 2. All 3 of them sound like this. Hey, Mark, we had a great connection about EXP a month or 2 ago. Then we lost touch. No pressure from my end. But there's a couple of really cool things that have happened recently. Would you be open for a 5-minute update over the phone? And when they say what happened, you bring them 3 things. This big brokerage came. This big agent came. And now, if you happen to know an agent in another market, we can plug them into a local person to train them. I don't get into co-sponsoring. It's a whole nother conversation. We can get somebody local to work with them. The truth is, I don't care about those 3 things. All I wanted to do was get them back on the phone. While I'm on the phone with them, I then hit them with the other. Hey, when you saw the presentation, do you remember, was it lead generation? Was it better training? Was it direction and accountability with your broker? Was it owning stock? Or was it building a retirement 401k income? Which of those was most important to you when you saw the presentation? Get them back to that. So again, I'd call them first. I'd say something like, man, there's a couple of really cool things that have happened lately. I just want to get back on with 5 minutes. You got a couple minutes for me? Yes. Great. Man, we had this great team come, this big thing come. We had a really good talk when we talked, really good talk. And you had some ideas, and then we got crazy and, real estate and people got in the way. Real quickly, I'm always curious, what was it most that got your attention when you saw the presentation? Was it? And then I go through 5 or 6 benefits. And then what really, be honest with me, we're professionals, what's really keeping you from looking at this deeper? I love asking that question. Hey, look, we're both professionals. I can take it. What's really keeping you from looking at this deeper? It's a great question. Rick McKay, you've been here the last few weeks. You didn't get a chance last week to ask questions. Rick, you got anything?
Yeah, I've been working on making my calls. I have about a list of about 500 people right now of agents.
Nice.
So I wasn't here last week, but but I like the idea of putting on a card and just doing those 5 at a time and call them that's it. So that's definitely a good idea. So that's something I'm going to start doing in the future. I also have about 50 or 60 people I know from the past deals. So I have a list of them as well. So kind of calling like some I don't know, some I do know. It's just I'm also trying to massage the script list too. Better that kind of because I still have a list actually right here next to me, but I'm trying to use that as much as I can to just massage a little bit more towards my personality.
Okay. I love all of that. Awesome job.
Mhm.
Here's all I'm going to recommend, everybody. I'm going to recommend everybody to watch this quickly. You'll understand why in 2 seconds.
One of my favorite mentors told me a line that changed my life. It was Bill Perkins. I asked him why he's so successful in so many aspects of his life, damn near a billionaire. And he said, the only reason that I'm successful is I'm faster than everybody else. By the time they have thought about an idea, taken it to a meeting and started to move, I have already made 3 mistakes and found a faster way. And
all I'm going to ask you to do, Rick, is all the things you say I'm working on. I'd love for you to come back next week and say, I already did it.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Compressing timelines
Mhm.
increases your speed at success. Part of our problem is we are habitually in a methodical way of living.
Right. Mhm.
We're looking to make a change here. So you might as well make a full change, which is get to it.
Mhm.
If you're not getting to it, then you're going to end up doing it sort of the same way you do everything else, and it's just not going to get done efficiently. Cool?
Right. Right. I agree. Mhm.
Now, so I'll say this. You thought this was a great idea. Index cards. Do you have index cards in the home?
I do.
Yay!
Yes.
You know where they are?
I do. Yes. Yeah.
Yay! Then go grab 22 of them, write down 5 names while you're watching the basketball game on Saturday, and next week crank out, right? Just crank them out. Do 1 a day for the next 100 days, and you will have a rock star group. Okay?
I'll do that. Okay.
When it
Definitely.
comes to modifying the script's not going to change. You're not going to change your past. It won't take more than an hour for you to modify the dang script. So get it done in an hour. Again, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying speed affects everything.
Sure. Mhm.
Thanks for playing. I'm here for you. Tammy Will, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tammy, will you come on with us?
Yes, I will.
What's happening?
Well, I think I'm just randomly joined this knowing that my intention is to grow. I have a couple people under me, one of my which is my daughter, who now has put her license in escrow and went to leasing because she's pregnant and needed to do something different, and she didn't like to make phone calls, so maybe real estate is not her game at this time in her life. But I have another guy, Eric, under me, who was on here, and then it looks like he left. But my goal is I am going to hit it hard with the EXP Freedom team. I'm going to continue to go to your, I've been taking some notes here. Go to the support.com site that you have. And my goal is to do your 100-day, I'm going to call it my own personal 100-day challenge. So maybe I'll be on here week after week. I'm just going to make myself do it. And I'm going to just do what you said. Every night, get 5 calls ready. And I'm going to go back. I've had my license since 2005. So I'm just going to go back to people that I've worked with before. And I have switched offices multiple times. So I have a lot of relationships because I am one of the chatty Cathys who talks to everybody. So I have a lot of contacts in my brain. Like I just took a good note and I said, you know what? I'm going back to the Keller Williams people, the Coldwell Banker, the Comey and Shepard, the Remax, which are all brokers I've been at through the history of my being licensed as a realtor. And I'm like, I can do this. I've got a lot of people that know me, and I'm just gonna try to get it set for 5 a day. Just sit down, try to put the names together. At least if I can get it done at the beginning of the week and have Monday through Friday done, I'll be good. But at least every night, try to get them. Like my problem is I'm not organized, so I'm just gonna not think about it and do whatever you tell me.
Well, then
Because I don't want to rethink it. I don't want to rethink it. I just want you to do what you're doing, and I'm just gonna listen and do it. So
let me give you
that's
4
my goal.
things to do. First of all, thanks for the trust. Number 2 is it's smart because what I teach works. Number 2, by Saturday midnight,
Okay.
22 cards with 5 names and phone numbers.
Okay. 22 cards.
Yeah, it's 100 names, 110.
Oh, okay. With 5
And that'll
names.
give you the full month of April to run without having to write another card.
Okay.
That won't take you an hour. It won't take you an hour.
Okay. Yep.
Now, if that feels overwhelming, then do 5 cards and then go take a shower and do 5 more and then go run.
Right.
But you say you're going to do what I tell you. I'm telling you the easiest way to do it. Get the cards done per month.
Right.
If you
Name and number.
Name a number. Number 2,
Okay.
and by the way, if you start struggling with that, that's not negative. It's struggling. There's a difference.
Right.
Nobody's making you struggle. You're struggling because your habits aren't allowing you to make a list. And you already said you got a boatload of people, so write them down. I don't
That's
care
what
if
I'm
you, by
gonna
the
do.
way, did it the night before every night for 22 nights, but it's easier to write 22 cards and get them done. That's number one. Here's number two.
Okay.
If you make 100 days worth of phone calls, you'll have plenty of agents. So don't worry about day one or day two. Those are practice. Okay. So number three, learn the script. You know where to find it.
Yes.
And
Yep.
number four, here's the hardest part. Get back to this class every week for the next 10 weeks. Because if you know you're coming, you're more inclined to do the work.
Right.
And if
Yeah,
you,
you're calling out every single body and having a deep conversation, and I'm like, oh my God, I know he's gonna call me.
well, here's the other part. If you on Wednesday night or Thursday morning go, I'm not going on there because I didn't do anything and I don't want them picking on me. The answer is
Yes,
this
you
is
do.
where we're testing you.
Okay.
That's when you need to come.
Right.
You come every week for improvement, but if you haven't made calls, the only improvement is you still do what you said you're going to do, which is show up on Thursday.
Okay.
No one's mad at you if you miss 2 Thursdays. I'm not going to sit there and say, Tammy, where were you? I'm not going to do that. Okay. You're going to say, I hope he doesn't do that. And I'm not. I'm just going to say, Tammy, you were missed. Okay.
I'm committing. I'm committing.
Good.
So let me recap your 1 through 4 that you just said,
Yep.
because I think I missed number 3, or maybe one is you want Saturday night. I'm going to do it
By Saturday night.
22 cards with 5 names and numbers, and then I am going to do it for 100 days. And then what was number 3? Something, and then get back on the call Thursday.
Well, what do you have as number 2?
Number 2 was do it for 100 days.
Yeah, make your 5 calls for 100 days.
Yep.
Number 3 for you is remember that the next couple of weeks, they're just practice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. 4 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, you will feel significantly different about making your calls. Okay?
Yeah.
And what we'll be talking about each week is what Mark Mess is now talking to me about. What do I do in a presentation? What do I do after? But we can't talk to you about that yet because we got to get into the presentation mode in order to do that. Bill just wrote Lisa. That's the key right there. So number 3 is let's practice and get better at it, and then come back every week so I can improve you. So great job. Go ahead, Wade.
Yeah, one story before you have to wrap up. I just thought about it when you were talking about habits a minute ago, and I don't think I shared it with this group. Um, I knew a State Farm agent. He passed away about a month ago. He was 92 years old. He was still going into the office.
Wow.
You know, that's not really my goal in life, but that was his. And calculated the year, so it's 7 years ago. He would have been 85 years old. He's probably worth 20 million. He was probably worth $20 million when he passed away. That's kind of what people in the town I'm from in Alabama thought. He, you know, he owns commercial property, shopping center, all kinds of things, and he's had the State Farm thing. Well, 7 years ago, I bought a couple of rental properties, and he had them insured. And of course, he called me to see if I wanted to do the rental properties. And I said, I already have, you know, I'm good friends with John Dark, so I already have my insurance with him. He said, okay, fine. So a year later, I'm working another job then. I'm walking through the plant, and I get a phone call 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. This guy's 85 years old, and he's worth $15 million. And he calls me at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. And I've never forgot that. And that, you know, that was his habit. He had it on his calendar 1 year from now, I'll wait, talk to him about insurance. It just so happened that I had more properties than I could insure with my current insurer. I said, you know what? I said, I'll come in and talk to you Monday.
But had
He
he
was
not
making the
called,
call.
had he not called you, you'd have been SOL.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey, doing the things that don't take talent give you the riches that you're dreaming of, thinking you need talent. I'm going to say it again. Doing things that don't take talent, things you can create habits to do, you'll automatically improve doing them if you do them, And the bottom line is you'll get all the riches you can without ever thinking about having to get better. You'll get better through the process. Let me leave you with a couple things. Don't miss next week. It's important. Bill, you got all these addresses, right?
I sent them, I emailed them to you.
Okay. 2 quick things to wrap up. Here we go.
Eric, and I have a question too.
There'll be times where you succeed and there are times that you fail. So wasting your time doubting whether you're going to be successful or not is pointless. It is. You just put one foot in front of the other. You control what you can't control. And then you see what the outcome is. Right? If you win, great. You're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey over again. If you lose, it sucks. But you have to wake up the next day and do the journey all over again anyway.
Go ahead. Which question?
I don't know if that was on a Monday with Sean or you. If we have somebody, there was Compass, that has considered EXP. Somebody mentioned that if we have somebody that needs their contract reviewed to see if, there was a way that, they could, wind up getting out of that.
Yeah.
Was it here that we mentioned it, or I got to reach out to Sean next?
Yeah, well, Sean will know, but there is someone here at CompanyWise that will help agents look at things to evaluate. That's
Okay.
the growth department. I don't have the person's contact at the moment, but Sturrock will. Okay.
Growth department.
It's the growth department.
Okay.
Good deal. Here we go. Don't miss this one, people.
An unglamorous part of achieving your goals. I call it doing the reps. This comes from my buddy, best-selling author Jeff Walker. Jeff said in a meeting that I was in once, he said, I've been asked over the years, what is the secret to success? And he said, it's doing the reps. And the reps are the boring, tedious, annoying actions that you take every day. Just like going to the gym. You want a bigger bicep? You got to do the reps.
It's just the way it works, people. Right?
Let's attract the right agents, make it easier. Transform your mindset, make you stronger. Gotta raise the right tools, keep it simpler. Master the 4 key actions, go bigger. Yeah. DNA of business, learn the code. Dream, belief, activity mode. Urgency's the key, don't wait too long. Keep improving, stay real strong. Results gon' come when you set the pace. Make that move, go win the race. Money, it's coming in. Eric Golden shows you how to win. Make your calls, let the numbers work for you. The right mindset's gonna pull you through. You're working too hard 'cause you're thinking too much. Take that step, feel the magic touch. Freedom's waiting, it's yours to take. Sponsor 5 and go change your fate. Money's coming in. Eric Golden shows you how to win. Make your calls, let the numbers work for you. The right mindset's gonna pull you through. Change your fate.
See you next week.
Thank you, Eric.
Take care, boys. Anybody wants the recording, it'll be in the Freedom Team Zoom workplace group. It'll be posted in the next day or so. So check it out there. Lots of good stuff to be